This is a quick tip about XY coordinates in Scratch. This is a quick video to help explain X and Y in Scratch. If you've ever used any motion blocks in Scratch, you'll notice a lot of them refer to X and Y with a number, but unless you're familiar with coordinates and you know how Scratch sets up its grid, you might not understand what it means. So if you think about it, Scratch has split your screen into 4 equal rectangles. Your screen's a little wider than it is tall, and it has set its starting point right in the middle as 0 and 0 and created a number line from there. Your numbers that go right and left are X numbers, and if you are to the right of the center line, you can go all the way up to 245 on X. If your sprite is to the left of the center line, it's a negative number and travels all the way to negative 245. If your sprite is going up, it is a positive number because you're above 0, and it goes all the way up to Y being 180. And if your sprite is going below that center line, it's going to be a negative Y number down to negative 180. So if I'm moving my sprite around in the quadrants, it is going to, then you can see my numbers right there up in the corner. They're both positive because I'm in this top right quadrant where I'm above the 0 for the Y and I am to the right of the 0 for the X. So they're both positive. But if I travel down to this quadrant down here, the bottom right quadrant, the X is still positive because I'm still to the right of the 0 for X. But my Y is negative because I'm below the 0 for the Y. And in this bottom left, they are both negative because I'm on the wrong side of the 0 for both of them. I've got negative 63 and negative 34. And then this last quadrant is my upper left quadrant, and my Y is positive because I'm above this line, but my X is negative because I'm to the left of my 0. It is really helpful to know how Scratch uses its number grid when you are setting up a project. So if I was going to start a new project, I have picked out my backdrop and my sprite, but right now it always brings it in the middle and I don't want my bus hanging out in the sky. So I'm going to pull it down to where I want it on the street. You'll notice that it shows me that its X is negative 188 and its Y is negative 129 because I'm in this bottom left coordinate. So all of my motion blocks already know where my sprite is, so all I have to do is pull out a go to XY and attach it to my green flag to do my reset code. So now if I want it to move every time it's clicked, if I want it to move across my screen, I will need to have a positive number because I'm going from the negative and I want to go towards positive. So, and I also need it to be an X. So I'm going to grab a change X by 10. And I'm going to switch this to like a 60 because 10 isn't very much. So when I click on this, it moves to the right every time I click on it. And when I get across my screen, I can just hit my green flag and it resets it back to that point that I have figured out because I know my coordinates and I know how to make it move right and left and up and down. I hope this helps.
Created using Powtoon.